So the difference between pyramidal system and the extrapyramidal system is the pyramidal system is useful for voluntary control and skilled activities. We have seen that it is predominantly influencing the flexors, whereas the extrapyramidal system is useful for maintaining the constant tone of the body. Constant tone of the body is needed in the anti-gravity muscles of the body. You know, the anti-gravity muscles are the one which are constantly fighting against the gravitational force in maintaining the body posture. So they are predominantly extensors in the body, and the extrapyramidal tracts are influencing the extensors of the body, human body. Um, so what happens when there is a problem in this extrapyramidal tract? It results in hypertonia or a sort of a rigidity, which we are going to see in subsequent classes. Why there is a spasticity when there is a pyramidal involvement, and why there is a rigidity when the extrapyramidal involvement is there. Okay, so what are the cells which are giving rise for the extrapyramidal system? What are the extrapyramidal system tracts of the extrapyramidal system? We know that it is the rubrospinal, tectospinal, olivospinal, and vestibulospinal. So the first tract is the rubrospinal tract. It arises from the red nucleus in the midbrain. You can see here there is a red nucleus in the midbrain. This gives information down to the spinal cord. This is called as the rubrospinal tract. But one thing we should remember, that this also receives information from somewhere other part. That is the significance of the extrapyramidal system. We saw that pyramidal system are starting from the cerebral cortex, but the extrapyramidal system do not arise from the cerebral cortex, but always have an influence from the cerebral cortex. So the influence for the red nucleus is coming from the cerebellum and the cerebral cortex. So the input for them coming from the cerebellum and the cerebral cortex. From the red nucleus, this tract runs out, goes opposite. That is, it is crossing to the opposite side, and it descends through the pons medulla, and it comes to the spinal cord. Remember that it is crossing to the opposite side. So what is this? Red nucleus to the spinal cord. So it is called as rubrospinal. What is the function of this? Involved in movement of the distal limbs and also regulates the tone and posture. Okay. One thing you have to remember of rubrospinal tract is it is influencing mostly the upper limb. Remember that it influences the upper limb more. It also influences the flexors of the body. This is the only tract in the extrapyramidal system that influences the flexors of the upper limb more than the flexors of the lower limb. Remember this. I will tell you what is the significance of this when I'm teaching you the Babinski sign or the extensor plantar response. So the rubrospinal tract is going to control or contribute to the flexor activity of the upper limb predominantly. Okay, apart from that, it maintains the tone in the body. Here it is written as hand and feet, but it is mostly hand and very few percentage in the feet. Okay, it receives information from the cerebellum and the cerebral cortex. Next is the vestibulospinal tract, a very important tract. The nucleus of the tract is located in the vestibular nucleus, which is located in the pons and the medulla. This nucleus, as I told you, should receive information from some other part of the body. So this receives information from the otolith organ, that is the vestibular apparatus of the ears, inner ear. Okay, from the inner ear, the vestibular part sends information about the position of the head in relationship to the body and position of the body in relationship to the environment. When I say the relationship between the position of the head and the body, when I move my neck up and down, that is the relationship of the head changes in the relationship of the body. When I am traveling sitting inside a car, or when I am traveling in, then that means my body in relationship to the environment. Or even when I am walking, when I am doing sit to stand. So all these activities, my head and my trunk moves in relationship to the environment. So both these informations are gathered by the your ears, called as the vestibular organ, and this information is sent to the nucleus of the vestibulospinal tract. This information from there on is relayed onto the same side, and it is relayed to the same side spinal area. So this is not crossing. Remember, is crossing, vestibulospinal is not crossing. So what is the function of the vestibulospinal tract? It is excited, it influences the same side extensors. Okay, it is inhibitory to the flexors. Very importantly, you have to remember this. It is inhibitory to flexors and excitatory to the extensors. As usual, it controls the muscle tone and the balance, and the head movement is detected by the vestibulospinal tract. Fine.